Have you ever wanted to create something like this for your stream? I'm going to show you how to set up a looping parallax animation like these in OBS with 0 plugins.
Hey streamer, what's parallax?
Oh, hey Tinks. So parallax is a phenomenon we all encounter daily. Here's an example. If a car passes by you from really close, they move in and out of your frame of vision pretty quickly. But if the car is far away, even though it's moving the same exact speed, it looks like the car is moving slower. This is parallax. In this initial example, you can see that the bushes in the front move pretty fast, but the mind flayer in the back is moving at a snail's pace. Adding parallax to your stream helps it to feel three-dimensional and less flat. The other great thing about these examples is that it's an infinite loop, and this is achieved by having the edges of the layers connected seamlessly. Let me show you how I set up this design. Now, we won't spend long on this portion of the video, but for this process, you're going to want several layers that will animate at different speeds. For this design, I've made some bushes in the foreground, a midground that has a road for a walk cycle to go on top of, and a few background layers. The main thing to consider with your design is that the left edge of your layer needs to be able to seamlessly connect with your right edge. This is a bit easier in pixel art programs. One thing you can do in any program though is draw what you're wanting normally, and at the end divide it down the middle and switch the two halves. And then patch up the seam from the previous edges. Here's a brief example of that in a program like Procreate. The reason we're doing this is because when we bring it into OBS later, the infinite loop won't happen if there's like a hard seam or a line. So making it one continuous flow that infinitely loops helps pull off the parallax effect forever. If design isn't your strong suit or you don't want to make your own assets for something like this, you're more than welcome to use free assets I'm linking with this video. I made a Stranger Things theme and an outer space theme that work great for stream starting, stream ending, or BRB screens. I love putting free assets like this in my videos, and if you find something like this helpful or you use the free assets, be sure to support me by hitting like and even subscribing to the channel. Without further ado, let's move on to OBS. First, let's set up this Stranger Things parallax. So first we're going to start by importing all the layers before we make them move. Import each layer and center them with Ctrl-D or Command-D on Mac. You can see that the asset for Will is tiny and in the corner. Go ahead and scale it up. At first it looks blurry, but if you change the scale filtering method to point, it'll look crisp even at large sizes. Make sure he's centered up nicely, and now comes the fun part. Let's start with the foreground, these bushes. Add a filter called Scroll and set it to around -115 for the horizontal speed. Then select the midground, give it a scroll filter as well, and set the horizontal speed to -55. Then work your way back through the piece, giving all the layers except Will a scroll filter and make each one slower the further back in the piece you go. I'm going to leave the speeds that I set them to for all of the layers just in case you want to set it up exactly like me, but without further ado, simple, easy to configure, infinite parallax. Let's do another example with some vertical parallax instead of horizontal. I made some space themed assets for this one. You'll want to follow the same process with these space assets. Bring everything into your scene, make sure to scale up the background, and set the scale filtering method to point. Do the same thing with the spaceship as well, and then we're going to start animating the pieces. So start with the asteroids going the fastest rate, set a scroll filter on the asteroid layer, and I did about -200 on the vertical speed. Then do the medium planet slower, I did -65, and finally set your planet that's the furthest back to -25. Keep in mind the background for this one with the stars was not meant to move. And an additional tip, for an asset like this medium planet that has a lot of negative space in it, you can use a crop and pad filter to make it appear more frequently. So those are some simple parallax setups. Obviously there's a lot of things in OBS that you could do that's more advanced than this. So let me know if you want a part 2 for this series, and I'll be sure to show you some more advanced parallax tips. And you know, I might even throw in some more free goodies. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.